The warehouse is open to Villa fans for free every single match day. Make sure to get here early though, because capacity is limited. We do have something for every single game though, including interviews with ex-Villa legends. Just the other week, we had Alan McAnally and James Chester up on stage, as well as women's team captain Rachel Daly. We have live sport being shown on our super widescreen, as well as DJs and live music. There really is something for everyone. The only place to be on match days is the warehouse here at Villa Park.
Villa Park is in England's second city, Birmingham, 100 miles or so to the northwest of London. It's Aston Villa's home. Aston Villa and Chelsea. A game between two teams with the aspiration and the expectation that they can and will finish in a Champions League qualification berth.
It's Ashley Young, and it's deflected home as well. Akbar Lahore.
Check comes and doesn't get there, and Collins scores.
Oh, what a strike from McGinn. Here, and Juan Pablo Angel can latch onto it. Finds the shot in. That is absolutely outstanding.
Rashford turned goalward for Asensio. Villa have or maybe their winner. It's the same combo.
He's trying to get across the berth, and he's done that.
Oh, fantastic goal.
Luke Millis, a flash of real quality.
Watkins. Villa have done it again. They've turned another game on its head, and they could be on the brink of equalling a century-old club record of 11 consecutive wins.
This is Rodgers, and that's 2-0.
But Morgan Rodgers shows why Unai Emery was so keen to sign him in the winter transfer window.
Welcome along to Villa TV and to Matchday Live. It's 4th versus 6th in the table. Aston Villa currently sat on 51 points, 6 points clear of Chelsea, down in 6th on the back of Aston Villa's defeat against Wolves on Friday, and also Chelsea's defeat at the hands of Arsenal. Two teams with something to prove in this race for Champions League football. Welcome along to Matchday Live with myself, Kate Tracy, alongside two former villains, Alan McAnally and Stilian Petrov. Not too cold tonight, Stan.
It's all right.
It's not too bad.
It's getting a little bit nippy now.
Where have you been, Alaska?
It's cold. It's still cold.
I think it's all right.
It's still cold.
It's that tricky time of year where no matter what coat you wear going out in the morning, you will regret it at some point, Alan. But we're not going to get into that because we've got a lot more important things to talk about than the weather, even by our standards. Big night tonight.
This is not just for the club, but in a psychological way for the players. We've got to get over this little, let's just call it a bump in the road. I mean, Liverpool have had it, City have had it, United had it, and we're going through it right now. You know, if you go back to the Everton game and the Brentford game, Everton was a tough one to swallow, to be honest. Leeds, we take the point because we didn't play particularly well, although we did finish the game much stronger. And then obviously a real disappointing game last Friday against Wolverhampton. So listen, you've got to get over that. You've got to, I mean, I heard the manager talking about a demand of the players, their responsibility, and that's what they have to take, you know. We're still 6 points ahead of a club we play tonight, who would change places with us in a heartbeat. So let's take that positive for starters. But we need to make sure, and by the way, they're not in that great form either. I mean, I know they just got beat by Arsenal, played okay. Burnley and Leeds United were draws for them. But we've got to make sure we're the home team. We're the aggressor, and we try and put them under as much pressure as we possibly can. But tonight is so important we start with a bit of energy, because everybody you speak to when you come in, they're like, it looks as though we're like, this playing through is okay. Well, that is okay, but let's do it with a pace. Let's do it with 1, 2 and 3 touches rather than dwelling on the ball, and that might set the tempo for tonight.
You've come in good form though today. You've come in punchy and feisty form today. Oh, he has been so far. So we're hoping that will translate to the players as well. But you're in good form.
Listen, as Alan said, it's been a bumpy couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's normal. I think when you lose so many key players, important players, I mean, Kamara, McGinn and Tielemans, they're the heart of the team. Not just with their football ability, but with the mentality as well, with the leadership. And sometimes when you lose so many players, it's normal to have a dip in form. But we just haven't seen that the players that come in actually put in performances.
Yeah.
And this is what the manager will be asking today. Obviously playing at home, in front of the Villa fans, the manager will be asking, one of you have to step up. You have to step up and be counted. You have to lead from the start. And it's important, as I said, that Villa have to start on the front foot with intensity, with the mentality that we're going to win the game. Because Liverpool losing yesterday, there's a couple of games tonight, you can open up the gap. You can give yourself a little bit of a comfortable time where you can afford to have bad times and bad weeks, but you can still keep the lead.
I was thinking, Stan, so I mentioned at the top of the show that there's other teams have had a little period that they haven't played well and results have gone against them. And I can't help thinking that if we're going to have it, well, we had it a little bit at the beginning and then played brilliant right through up till now. Yeah. We've had a little bump in the road, but we better get rid of it now so we have a really strong finish to the end of the season.
But you know the
I don't know when the best time to have it. Surely it's now.
I think it's normal time. I mean, we're competing with the best teams probably in the world, for the Champions League football. It's normal to have a dip. It's normal to have bad results. Other teams will have bad results. Look at Liverpool yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, Man United going in a run. You expect a couple of players to come back from injuries, to have a little bit of help. You're expecting some of the new signings to start producing. Say Tammy Abraham. You expect him to start scoring goals or to have opportunities. And it's something that Unai Emery will be aware of it. It's about, keeping calm, making sure that you stay in the pack. And Aston Villa is still in the pack. He's still fighting for that Champions League.
I just wonder whether he might play Abrahams tonight.
We've got team news.
Really? Hang on, don't tell him. Does Abrahams play or does Watkins play?
Watkins.
Right, that means I'll go for Abrahams. I don't know. I genuinely don't know the team, but if we're going to get the ball into the box and get it in early and Ollie looks as if he's been a bit frustrated, he might just go with Abrahams tonight. I don't know.
Stands right. Ollie Watkins starting. So here
that's good.
What do you know about football?
Well, I can't. Every time I say it, I would start Watkins all the time.
I could have given you a clue there, to be fair. I could have given you a wink.
Give me the eyes. Give me the eyes.
Yeah, so this is how Aston Villa are lining up. 3 changes. Emi Martinez in goal. Matty Cash at right back. Ezri Konsa with the captain's armband. Tyrone Mings comes into the fray and into the heart of defence. Ian Maatsen also comes back in at left back. Amadou Onana and Dougie Luiz in the double pivot. Leon Bailey comes in the place of Sancho. Emi Buendia, Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins up top. Tammy Abraham is on the bench though, as is Luca Dean, Jadon Sancho, Ross Barkley and Alisson as well, who looked so sharp there the other day. So 3 changes for Aston Villa. In terms of Chelsea, they have 4 changes, including the goalkeeper. Sanchez, after a slightly fluffy game there the other day,
I'm really
is
not
out.
surprised.
Jorgensen has come in his place. Hato Chalobah Fofana, of course, comes back in following his suspension during the Arsenal game, comes back into the fray. Malo Gusto at right back. Caicedo, Reece James, Halki, his corners were the other night. Garnacho comes in, Fernandes, Palmer and João Pedro up top. Of course, Pedro Neto is suspended because of the red card he got against Arsenal. So first and foremost, and you called it right there with Ollie Watkins up top. So this must just be exactly what you expected.
Why did you expect Tammy to start with?
I didn't. I said I just wonder whether he might play Tammy Abrahams. I didn't actually say he would play.
I think Watkins is perfect for this kind of game.
Yeah.
Obviously, the way Chelsea is playing, they leave quite a lot of space. You need somebody with pace. Ollie does have that space. And don't forget, when Ollie plays well, when the team plays well, he's unstoppable. And that's what probably Unai Emery wants tonight, to use the pace, the strength, and the ability to go behind. And this is something that we haven't seen from Ollie lately. And this is something maybe the manager will be expecting him to do tonight.
I'll tell you what else it is. It's a big pat in the back for Ollie Watkins. Like confirmation from the manager saying
the faith and the trust.
If he's talking about who's going to play, where they're going to play, is he going to, just because he hasn't scored a goal, but his contribution's been enough that the manager's like, no, you're my number 1 guy. So Ollie should be coming out with his shoulders out, his chest out, giving it, I'm ready to go here. I'm ready to absolutely go. So, yeah, I mean, it's the Maatsen thing I'm not that surprised about either. I think he gives us something else going forward.
Yeah.
It makes their two side boys, or not wingers, but the two wide boys, have a little bit of think about maybe going in behind. But
do you think, is he our left back at home and Luca Dean is, I know of course they've had a lot of changes throughout the season where we've seen Ian Maatsen away and Luca Dean at home though, but do you think they're sort of establishing themselves as Ian Maatsen is the left back at home and Luca Dean is
not really,
away?
Kate, not really, but and I don't think the manager thinks like that. I think it's not necessarily horses for courses, but I think it's who's hot at the time, genuinely. Yeah. It's a position that's completely up for grabs. If you play brilliant for 5 games and you're one of them, you're sitting on the bench and watching. That's basically, I think the only one probably is Cashy at right back, is a guaranteed, and so is Konza and centre back, because he's obviously between Tyrone and Powell, depending on how the injury is. Midfield for us, and Stillian talked about it, with the players we have missing. That's the middle of the part that we need to get right, because we need to, if we're going to control the ball, then control it in midfield, and that gives us options to go forward, and then hopefully we're on the ball tonight. It's a huge game.
What I think at the moment the Villa problem is not much about the form, and that used to be the team used to move the ball quicker. At the moment the team is like taking too many touches.
Why do you think that is?
Try to be safe. You're just taking risk.
Yeah.
I think with the way McGuinness and Tielemans and Kamara, even though the teams knew how the team will play, they still move the ball quicker. They never gave him a chance. With the moment with Douglas, with Nana, it's like that extra touch, which it gives the opportunity to the opposition to close them down, to push them and to pit them really high and to put them under pressure. This is a problem, because before, when you have brave players, they wanna, even the opposition know how you play, what the tactics are. You still take those brave decisions. And when you have players like that, it makes a huge difference. It makes a difference for Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say it makes a difference for a striker if you know that they're not going to dwell on the ball too. And you make a good point there, Kate, in terms of asking Stillian, is it not a responsibility thing, but is it a risk take? Do they need to take more risks, or is it the better players just see things quicker, so they know they don't have to take 2 and 3 and 4 touches, so they can be a bit even more aggressive almost there. Do you know what I mean? Because there's times you're probably looking, you're like, I know the ball's going to, I've got a chance, I know where I get a chance here, and I can take 2 touches and the ball has to go there.
If you remember the goal for Ollie Watkins against Chelsea, actually, the movement on the ball, Kamara, Rodgers, straight to Watkins. 3 passes, neutralise the opposition. That's what Ollie Watkins said. He's clever enough, he's got the speed, he's got the strength, he knows where the goal is, but he needs the passes, he needs the support. Ollie Watkins is not one of those players where you think of, sometimes strikers, you've seen strikers like, he's going to make a goal on his own.
Yeah.
No, he needs the teams to provide. Nothing wrong with that. You just adapt to that team. That's where the problem with Ollie is at the moment. Even other night against Wolves, when he had that opportunity where you could just take in his left foot, just finish it, he tried to go, take an extra touch, and go with his right foot.
Yeah, he did.
Which Ollie Watkins, with his confidence, he'll finish that.
I'd like to see Ollie try more of that. Not so much like a running solo run, slaloming in and out of defenders. I just mean, using his strength and using his body to turn defenders and just have a snapshot. Might not hit the target, but he then sets a precedent, and the defenders like, right, hang on a minute, because he did that the first time and he did this the second time, and I'm not sure what he's going to do now. But one thing for sure, we need to know that he's going to make runs in the box, and he's also a willing runner in behind. I say it all the time. And modern day football has been up for debate over the last 2 weeks about how it is, how it goes, how they play, how fans want X, Y and Z. The one in behind the fullback turns defences all day long. All day long. It doesn't matter if it comes from the halfway line or it comes from the midfield, is playing that ball in behind the fullback and getting them turning and face their own goalkeeper. That puts teams under pressure, and we haven't maybe just done that enough in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
You know what has been really good, Unai Emery, about his calmness. He haven't really reacted on losing the games, not putting performances, certain players not performing. He's been really calm. He's been saying the right things in the media. He's talking about that we know what we have to do. We know we are the best, but we are here. We are fighting for it, and we'll do it until the end. He's been really, really good, and that's a great manager. And he knows how important it is.
You talk about leadership. Tyrone Mings back into defence again? Does he offer that extra bit of leadership? Of course, we've got Ezri Konsa with the captain's armband there, but just that extra support and the voice from the back, does that help?
Yeah, I think it does. I think, and he's a talker, he'll be screaming at people, because there's nothing more. Well, you can't hear the guys screaming in the pitch, but everybody's shouting at each other and reminding each other and swearing at each other and telling everybody to do this and do that and make sure you do the right thing. So yeah, Tyrone is absolutely, especially free kicks for and against. I mean, Tyrone is a huge part of that, remember, and certainly for corners and free kicks Tyrone plays a big part of that. I mean, it's not the reason why he's going to play, but certainly in terms of his partnership with Ezri, then they know each other really well, and that's a big place tonight, the centre back defence position for us, because we want to make sure the ball doesn't get anywhere near the goalkeeper.
No, and hopefully no one hit Joe Pedro.
And watching the game against Aston, 2 set pieces, 2 goals.
It was just a set piece FC game, wasn't it? The whole
you
thing.
need the physicality, and Tyrone Mings, he's one of the best, and having him in a team, and Tyrone and Konsa, they know each other. They've played long enough with each other. So this big game, and sometimes you go back to basics. You need the players that actually know each other to get you out of trouble, and I think that's why Unai Emery stick with Mings and Konsa tonight.
I don't even know if we're going to talk about him, but for Douglas Luiz tonight, it could be a statement game for him tonight, because he's come back to the ground, to the club, and as much as he had such a great time prior to that, 3 or 4 years has passed by. So we need the Douglas Luiz of the one that sprays the ball, passes it, wins it, gives it to someone, and Morgan as well stepping up to the plate. So we need everybody to be at it tonight to make sure we get a result.
Do you think he's trying to do too much now?
Absolutely.
Well,
you should
McGinn,
know.
Yeah, with McGinn not being there, Kamara not being there, Tielemans not being there, he's like, I've come back to the club and I have to do everything. I have to impress.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he's an incredible player. His ability and everything. I feel at the moment he felt that the pressure is on him and he has to do everything.
Morgan's been about the same, really. Maybe just taking an extra touch or trying to beat another man beyond when he gets on that run, when he's really strong and he gets everybody off their seat, etc., etc. But yeah, listen, I think probably Stilly, and certainly in where you played, you must watch midfield play really quite closely, etc., and sort of have a proper eye on it. But yeah,
to be honest,
it's an area that we have to be better.
Douglas Luiz, the one thing he needs to do is just find Morgan Rogers.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as you see him in that final take, this is the best thing for the holding midfield, or a midfielder who plays in that position. Find your best players.
Yeah,
that's what you have to do.
Absolutely.
And you've managed to do that. You've done your job, and it seems like at the moment he tried to do everything. Tried to take people on. He wants to drive with the ball. He has to pass. 40, 50 yards passes. Don't. Just do what you do best, and that's what you see the game, because you're a good player.
I can tell you loads of times in the dressing room where the manager went, if you get it, give it to him.
Yes.
Because he's better than you. So just
it's normal.
It's normal.
It's normal.
It sounds a bit like not good, but it's honestly, it's plenty of times when I've heard the manager speaking to a player and say, see, when you get it, just give it to him.
Even I can follow those instructions. Not that I'd be able to pull them off, but I can at least follow what they mean anyway. Talking of changes though, Chelsea, 4 changes. We'll get on to the goalkeeper in just a moment, because interesting, I thought Santos coming out of the starting 11. When you actually look with Liam Rosenior coming into it, he of course trusts him so much, Santos, from their time at Strasbourg together previously, and him putting him into that double pivot with the holding midfield there. It looks as if Reece James is going to be alongside Caicedo in Santos's place for this one. Are you surprised at that at all?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. Obviously, look, you've got enough players, you've got enough choices. I think he's looking to refresh, and you know what, stamp his authority. Sometimes a new manager will come and say, well, if you don't win, if you don't perform, and especially in the big games, the next one come in. That's the way I'm going to be. And it's normal. I think he probably is looking for a little bit of fresh legs. He knows that everything that Villa does, he goes through the middle of the park. So he wants them to be fresher, a little bit of fresh legs, and something different that Villa have to think about.
Yeah, and we've got Nacho coming in for Neto, who of course is suspended. But I do want to ask you about Jorgensen in place of Sanchez, because by all reckoning, Sanchez has massively improved this season. However, Arsenal, he did look a bit all at sea the other day. Is that fair to say?
I'm gutted that he's not playing tonight.
What you've got in your notes?
Well, my notes. My notes. Hang on a minute. My notes.
Oh no, if it's not too disparaging.
I had written down the team from the other day there, and I'm writing down the goalkeeper's name, and I'm like, well, he's not playing.
Yeah.
There's not, in all seriousness, and I know he's a fledgling in terms of the time he's been at Chelsea, but he made such a mistake and tried to almost pass it off as though it wasn't his problem. You can't have a goalkeeper that doesn't demand or command his 6-yard box. If you're going to, nowadays, back when we played, whenever, you need a goalkeeper that commands that 6-yard box, and he doesn't do it well enough. So that change I'm certainly not surprised about. And considering, I think when Liam Rossini came into Chelsea, I think he won his first 3 or 4 games, and I think he was in goal, to be fair. So he gave him the opportunity to keep going there. Now he's on the chase to try and get Champions League.
Yeah.
So there's no way you can have a goalkeeper that's maybe got a mistake in him when we're in the dressing room giving it, by the way, get the ball right on top of Sanchez, because I'm going to jump on top of him. If you know what I mean, anyway. Put him under as much pressure as we can, because anywhere the ball comes near him, he as well is going to be double thinking about the game against Arsenal, and you can't have that, and I think that's why Rossini's made that change.
Alan, do you expect more tactical game or more end-to-end game? Because both managers really need the Champions League this year.
Yeah, well, with Garnacho coming on, I think it's a more end-to-end game, and then he's not defensive-minded player at all, so we're going to have to be acute for that. But I'd like to hope it's an end-to-end game, because that means we're going to be aggressive as the home team as well. I mean, a good game. There will be a tactical nous in the middle of the park, which is where, losing the players we've got, we are not as strong. We need Onana to be big and have a real presence in the middle of the park, and him be the captain on there. No, we really need that. We need to keep the ball better. We need passes into areas. I want to see Leon Bailey tonight stand right on the touchline. I don't want to see him 10 yards in. I want to see him pull the defender out to give chances for us to play Ollie Watkins in. He always comes in, but to be fair, he's coming in to try and help. I don't think he helps that way. And I'd love to, well, I don't know what the manager's saying to him. If that's where the manager wants him to play, then that's what we go with. But if he's on the touchline, it gives Kashi 2 options. It gives him Watkins, diagonal, or even another one to give to Leon Bailey's feet, who then can either give him it back and then play it up. Doesn't have to go first time. And this is a big game for Leon Bailey tonight, because the last couple of games it's been a bit frustrating for him, and he's trying to take players on, and it maybe hasn't quite happened for him yet. And tonight you need to make sure he gets it right.
It's hopefully going to be testament to his mental ability,
Absolutely.
Isn't it? As much as
you and I spoke to him, remember?
Yeah. He was fantastic.
2 or 3 weeks ago we spoke to him in the podcast, and he's a lovely guy.
And works so hard. He's doing the extra hours, and doing everything. So you just hope he's rewarded.
He's way too nice. I want him to
He's
be
way
more
too nice.
Yeah.
I know, I like him when they're nice.
Shake him.
Get the ball and just go at people.
Take him on.
Be a bit arrogant. Just get that confidence. Sometimes you have to do that.
Yeah.
But he's really nice.
But he's working really hard. I can assure everybody, he's working so hard to try and get it right. But you and I know, training at the training ground, any training session, it needs to come out here. It needs to. There's 90 minutes here. And you can forget about your extra work. That's in the bag. It's the 90 minutes that count, and you need to be better than your opposition. We need to stand tonight, look at the opposition, and say, "I'm going to be better than you. I'm going to be stronger than you."
You can turn around and say that to Jorgensen right now, as the goalkeepers for Chelsea are coming out. So for now, though, we better hear from Unai Emery in his pre-match press conference.
And now again, we are in a not good moment, but every day is the opportunity to try to recover confidence, recover our energy, recover our good form we had every day. And tomorrow is we can show it in Villa Park against Chelsea. Our objective is to be in Europe, and we are in. Even not in good form, but we are in. And of course, we are every day trying to recover our good form and our confidence. And tomorrow, Chelsea is our opponent. And of course, it's a tough match. In Villa Park, we are feeling overall really comfortable playing, showing our form consistency. Except the last matches we played, and of course we want to recover our good form at home. We were winning out of matches in a row, and we were feeling so strong. And the last matches, even playing not bad, because the last match against Leeds United we played well, but it was not enough because we draw. We must try to do something better. tomorrow is a really good test. It's a fantastic test. And playing at home with our support, I think, is better. And how we are having our experiences here in 4 years is good to try to get balance.
I tell you what, we started watching that really intently, then we got distracted by Joe Cole and Peter Crouch there, as always. As soon as they're here, they always distract us. But you were watching that, how I used to watch TV as a kid, about 2 inches away from the screen.
His eyes are bad.
Yeah. You were nodding away intently as well.
I need to go and check my eyes. But it's exactly what we said. Really, Unai Emery's really relaxed, really down to point. It's about, we know where we are. We know we're going through a difficult time. Patchy time, but we're in a mix.
Yeah.
We're in the fight for Europe, so for us it's a big game. It's a big game for Chelsea, but it's big for us as well. And this is the excitement for the players. Even you haven't played that well in the last couple of weeks, you still got opportunity to fight for the Champions League. And this is the perfect opportunity to put it right.
He does say about we're here, we're in Europe. Yeah. We want to be in Europe. We're in a position where we're in the Champions League right now. He mentioned the word confidence a couple of times. You know, we've gone through a little bit we haven't gone through a little bit. There's been parts of the game where we've looked as though we've been devoid of confidence, just to take that little bit of risk and maybe being a bit more safe. And that's not really like us, because when we get the ball moving, we really do take a chance, and that's what I want to see back. But yeah, listen, we trust Unai Emery to get it right, and the boys have it all week to get this. This is a big game.
Yeah, that's a good point you make, actually. We've, of course, had more time in between our last game on Friday night, which feels strange for Villa to be playing on a Friday night, rather than Chelsea have had in terms of preparation time. Does that come into it?
Well, a little bit. For players, it's great when you get an extra day or something. I don't know. I don't think you'd have given the day off to the players who'll be training.
Not at this stage of the season.
No chance. No, everybody's in. I mean, you might get an afternoon off, and that's you.
To the Peaky Blinders premiere.
That's yeah, exactly. So they did that. But in terms of the extra day, I suppose certainly it's just for the manager to work on how we want to play, pattern of play, make sure everything's okay. And you'd be amazing what 24 if you've picked up an injury on your ankle or something in training. That extra day does help, trust me.
To be honest, this stage of the season, you don't really do much.
No.
You just go from game to game, make sure the players recover, somebody get a knock or somebody's been injured, get it right, and get ready for the game. And that's.
He used to come in the morning and just lie in a hot bath.
Yeah.
And then have his breakfast. And
to be fair, it worked.
Well,
modern football now, they've got so much. They can
See,
recover quicker, they're fitter, they're stronger. You know, I used to be.
No, they're not.
They are.
Not as much as you, Alan.
Trust
there you
me,
go.
They are.
But you've seen Unai Emery's press conferences now for a long time. How do you think he is in the mood right now? Because we've seen when he's agitated, we've seen when he's angry before a game or post the game, we've seen when he's relaxed, even when everyone else is nervous and the energy around the place is perhaps questionable. What do you think he looks like there?
He looks what he should look in front of the cameras, in front of the fans. He'll be angry. He won't be satisfied. Trust me. When you have a manager like him who's achieved so much, he knows when the team is not performing, what needs to be done, but also he knows the risks. The risks of not achieving what he wants to achieve. And he'll be putting it right in a training ground, individual meetings, making sure he says the right things, and he motivates the players individually as a team as well. He will be angry, but not in front of the public. He will make sure that the team, the fans will see him calm, that he's steady the ship, he controls everything. But on that training ground, he will be screwing because he's not going to be happy. No manager from his status will be happy by losing games and not performing well.
That's what you want. You don't want your manager to be stirring up frenzy amongst the fan base or anything like that. You want the calm, level-headedness so we can follow the leader. But as you say, maybe it's different than behind the scenes with the demand he has on the players. We better talk about Friday night. It is the elephant in the room. Yeah. You didn't go, did you? I know Sam was on commentary actually there, but you were watching on.
I was. I had fully good intentions to go originally. No, I didn't go in the end, and I stayed at home and I was watching the game. And I honestly, as the game was going, even after just after half time, I was thinking they're not really causing us too many. They weren't really that good, Wolves. But we were struggling into the game as though we We were trying to grab the game, and it just was just beyond us all the time. And we had a couple of really good chances earlier on, and they didn't go for us. But as the game went longer and longer, I was like, I'll take a point.
Yeah.
I'll take a point. And then, of course, they get a little break. We probably could have defended the cross better. In fact, we could have defended the cross a little bit better. And then they got on, and then we were pushing, and then 2-0 was almost inevitable. But yeah, that was one to take right on the chin, by the way. And I'm not saying it's a good thing, because it's not. But well, let's see what kind of reaction we get from the lads then, because of the game on Friday night. Because the manager, like Stan said, he certainly would have ripped into a couple of them to remind them of their jobs, about the demand of the football club and the position the football club's in, and the expectancy of 40,000 people tonight to make sure we get a result against Chelsea and get a good bounce back.
Yeah, I think the only disappointment for Unai Emery will be the manner they've lost the game.
Yeah.
Because usually we've seen in the last 3 seasons, Unai Emery, his team, you know, even when we don't play well, we go after the game.
Yeah.
We try to find a solution.
Yeah, I agree.
Even at a half time, there's always a change. There's always something you say, yeah, he's trying, he's doing it. There was nothing like that, and I think that's where the disappointment for Unai Emery will be. But the manner of losing the game, because even in the last 15 minutes, there was not intensity. There's not something to look at that. Those boys are going for it. They're trying to do it. It was that calmness, and sometimes you just can't expect to win games. You have to go and fight for it. You can't expect that Wolves would have given you that game without you really putting an effort. And I thought that the Villa performance that night.
Stan makes a great point there in terms of not just the way we played, but the reaction to going a goal down. Because we've gone a goal down a couple of times, and the reaction's been really, really good. And all of a sudden, you can see the players rolling their sleeves up, giving it. Yeah, exactly. It's almost as though it's the kick in the pants that we needed. But for whatever reason, we just couldn't get a grip of it. We didn't get back into the game, and it's one that we'll just have to look back and hope that it doesn't, in the end, cost us anything where we want to be. But listen, they're not just the only team that's gone to Wolves in the last couple.
I was getting to that. It does. Not that it looks any better kind of in our light in general, but does it with Liverpool last night?
Well, yeah, because we don't want Liverpool to get near us.
It's great for us in that sense, but in terms of what Wolves are pulling out of the bag all of a sudden, they're just derailing everyone's season.
Well, listen, I'm quite happy for Wolves to try their very best and make sure they take points off of Newcastle, Man United, Man City. I mean, pick a team that's round about us, and this is why the game tonight is so big, genuinely, because they are, what did you say, 6 points? It'll be 51, they're 45.
We will get a 9 point. If we get 3 points over, it will be a 9 point.
Correct, which is would be absolutely
this will be a comfortable gap. A comfortable gap.
Yeah.
It will be something that you can afford to make a mistake. You've got a couple players coming back, key players coming back.
International break
coming up. International break. You've got European football, which, you know, getting good results there give you confidence. So there's plenty to play for tonight. Big game, not just for Aston Villa, but for Chelsea as well. 2 managers who are willing to win tonight to keep their Champions League.
If we talk about 6 points a game,
alive.
We talk about those sorts of games all the time. Is it going to be a positive, therefore, because would you say it's must-win territory for Chelsea, but at least they're going to come here and play? We talk about Wolves, we talk about Leeds with the draw there, Everton, Brentford as well. Teams in a low block we don't do well against. Is it going to be a positive if Chelsea come here and actually try to play?
They have to come, and I think for the Chelsea tonight there will be, obviously, he wants to play good football, he wants to dominate. For him will be the results, and I think for Unai Emery will be, we need to go and get the results. This is not a performance. The boys have to really switch on tonight, concentrate and get a result, because this could be the results that keeps you in the Champions League.
Yes. Danger man for Chelsea. João Pedro, are we saying he's going to be the biggest
up top
danger man? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Can't remember who they were playing against. He scored an unbelievable goal against, I can't remember who they were, away from home in Europe. He's been really good. He's a really good, strikes the ball beautifully from distance as well, and he'll be a bigger problem for sure. Maybe that's the reason Tyrone's playing, actually, to try and make sure we've got strength there to try and stop him coming in behind, and obviously with the pace of Ezri. But he's certainly a player that I quite like. I like in the middle of the park with Caicedo. Caicedo's been a favourite. I mean, I remember him as at Brighton, and he tore Everton to shreds in the middle of the park. He was so good. I really do like him. But it's all over the pitch. We need to be better. Not just particular areas. We need to be, as a team, on the whole, better than Chelsea tonight. and make sure we're better than them, and then that'll guarantee us 3 points.
Midfielders tonight trying to intimidate Douglas Luiz, Sunana.
Yes,
maybe.
Yeah, I do. I think they'll try and stop them playing as much. As soon as they get on the ball, I think they'll press us.
Yeah,
I really do.
He looks like.
Do you not think so?
Yeah, I do, and it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's really obviously the way we play, and Douglas Luiz and that, they like to be on the ball. They don't like to be pressed. They don't like the opposition to be aggressive.
Yeah.
We see how they're going to react on that. That's why I thought maybe Batley would have started tonight.
Yeah.
Just sitting deeper, because he doesn't have that. He likes to bite. He likes to go and fight. So I was surprised, but maybe we can see him later.
I think it's an inevitability we'll see Ross Bartley at some point tonight, because he can influence the game. He might only get 30-35 minutes, but
he doesn't really do 90.
Yeah, well, exactly. So it'll still, listen, modern day football is a squad game now. Even though you're on the bench, you expect to be part of it. But if you're in the dressing room right now, you and I would be saying to Douglas Luiz, look, just be careful, don't dwell on the ball too much, because he's going to be all over you. They're going to try and make us make mistakes, and we need to make sure we're ready for whatever Chelsea decide they're going to throw at us.
You say about the potential aggression in midfield. Do Chelsea have to watch this aggression though? Is there a discipline problem there?
Yeah, they
I hope so.
9 red cards across all competitions,
really?
Not including Maresca getting sent off as well.
It seems like the manager, every single manager has addressed the issue in the media, but nobody really stopped it. I think that they're kind of, they've got that type of players, and sometimes when you hold players back, you take a lot of their strength. You know, it doesn't mean that they become aggressive because they want to hurt somebody. They just got the passion, they've got the intensity, they want to press, they want to be in the front foot, and sometimes they just can't control it. This is where probably with individuals discussions and making sure you control your individual players, the ones that actually at risk, then you can make a difference. But we'll see the same Chelsea. They will go for it. Yeah, they will.
Is that something to play on?
Huh?
Is that something for Villa to play on?
100%. I'd be sledging everybody tonight. After 20, referee, I'd be like, ref, he just whatever he did.
Discipline problem, please.
I'd be giving it. After 20 minutes, well done. And they'd be like, what is it? You've managed to keep 10, you've managed to keep 11 players on the pitch.
Do we want them to go down to 10 players though? Do we actually want, we don't do so well.
I mean, we're making light of the fact, but it's certainly something that Chelsea have to do to have a look at. And listen, and if I'm saying they're going to be making sure they try and smother us a lot, certainly in the middle of the park, there's going to be a few tackles in tonight, don't worry about that, but let's hope the boys can jump out the way and keep the ball and create chances for Ollie up top.
And of course, talk about Ollie Watkins, who came off the bench to seal the win at Stamford Bridge, 2-1 for Villa. Of course, we knew that Chelsea scored first, but then we say about that poking the bear, Villa going a goal down, then Ollie Watkins to come on and show every attribute we know he has to the best ability.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a great striker. I mean, players do go through difficult moments, and that's the one I was talking about earlier. Free passes, and this is Ollie Watkins where he's under pressure. Everybody was expecting to see his reaction. He wasn't starting, but this is a perfect answer. But when you move the ball, when you create, and this is like a proper. We haven't seen Ollie Watkins doing that at the moment. We haven't seen him getting at the end of the set piece. It seems like at the moment it's just a fight to get a chance, and this is something that we can afford for Ollie to do, to get frustrated because the team needs him.
Yeah. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
What we saw that night.
Stan makes a good point in terms of, I forgot the header game. I thought he scored a goal with his left peg, but the header was brilliant.
Yeah.
But that's where he has to be, in that area. All the time, not just sometimes. He needs to be, and even if the ball goes over you, then it's someone else's job. And then you come alive if they can win the header. But that's where I like him, attacking the ball, because he's good at putting it in that side or that side, and he's really good at the flick. Ollie Watkins, he's genuinely really good at that, and he's good in the air. He's scored a lot of goals with his head. But certainly in terms of, I'd be reminding him, hey, that area is yours in that 6-yard box. Make sure that's where you are when the ball's coming in.
Right, should we change tact a little bit there? That's a little bit on today's game for now. But of course, on Friday, Aston Villa found out who their opponents are going to be in the round of 16 in the UEFA Europa League. It's going to be a rematch from the quarterfinals from the Conference League of 2 years ago.
Arriving, and he's gone in. It's
Yes, Villa will be taking on Lille for a chance to get to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We sent out former skipper James Chester. This is his reaction to the draw.
What's your first reaction after the draw? Obviously, you're going to face Lille.
Yeah, it's a team we faced in the Europa Conference League a couple of years ago, so we're aware it's going to be a difficult tie. But with the seed having home advantage in the second leg is a big positive.
Yeah, what kind of matches are you expecting? Like you said, you mentioned the home advantage in the second leg.
Yeah, a difficult one. I believe the last time we met, it went to penalties in the Europa Conference tie. So a really difficult game. But I think at this stage of the competition, regardless of who you draw, everyone is eligible to win the competition.
And do you feel like you can go all the way? Have you had a look at the rest of the bracket?
Yeah, I think it's like I mentioned, the competition now is full of teams who have a history of winning. So there's no easy games, but yeah, we'll take this fixture first and then see where it leads from there.
Doesn't he dress up smart? Good to see Chesney out there, wasn't it? You just fumed you didn't get the invite.
I thought he was at a wedding or something.
I've
never seen him that smart.
By the way, there's a question for Aston Villa. You could have given him a suit and a tie.
No.
You have to be an El Ambassador for that.
He was on holiday and just popped in.
In neon, yeah, happened to be.
Come on, Cesar. Just give him a proper Aston Villa tie.
Listen, keep that VT and we can show them that the next game we do.
I would refuse to go if I didn't
refuse.
I would refuse.
When I heard he was going, I said,
if I didn't get the tie and the suit,
That's why they didn't ask you in the first place, because they knew exactly what your reaction would be.
I don't feel the part of it.
No, what did he say anyway?
He said he's really looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, listen, it's a good
penalties, going hopefully deep in the competition. Every team is going to be tough to beat now at this stage of the competition, which we knew. At least we know Lille previously. So basically, paraphrasing what Chesney was saying there, but he makes very good points, though, all the same. And of course, as we were looking at with the previous VT, we know Lille very well. 2 years ago, Emi Martinez saving the day on pens and the absolute housery that followed him.
Well, absolutely, yeah. But having said that, I think it's a good draw for us, genuinely. I mean, there could be, I think, was Stuttgart a possibility? They scored a lot of goals past Celtic, actually.
We have actually got the run to the final potentially for Villa as well to tee up.
Bologna, Roma or something?
It is in the other one. So Bologna. So here's Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And then facing Lille, Roma or Bologna, then into the quarterfinals, and then the semi-finals, of course, on the other side. Whether or not it's Nottingham Forest, if they do well or not, will remain to see. So
it's not easy draw anymore.
No,
there's no such a thing. It will be a difficult game, but Unai Emery, I think you've got a great experience in over 2 legs competition. I think you'll be really good, especially with the second game being at home.
Yeah.
I've already booked a hotel.
Have you?
For the final. So
what, in Birmingham? In the final?
Yeah, they better go.
We're going back to Turkey.
I'll be looking for a refund.
That's it.
Yeah, just
but difficult draw. Yeah. Difficult draw. It's not easy draw anymore. It will be difficult until the end. But like I said, the team should be excited. It's a great competition, and you know what? Getting to the final will be incredible.
Yeah, it will be absolutely. I mean, and the other thing is, genuinely, Lille wouldn't be such a new thing for some of the players because we've been there, and Bologna also. We played Bologna. We played Bologna here, obviously.
We played them a lot.
Yeah, we did.
In recent years, we've been playing them a lot. Yeah,
and it's a night.
Malin is on form.
Malin's flying, exactly. Well, to be fair, they were winning 3-1 against Juve, and the game finished 3-3, I think, in the weekend. I know that Juve came back at them. But I was at Bologna last year for the game against Juventus. It's a good stadium to play in, good noise. That'd be one I'd be quite happy to go to. Roma looks after itself in the Olympic Stadium. But yeah, let's get past Lille first.
Villa TV don't do away games.
They are now.
Are they?
I've got you a tie.
We've said it on live broadcast, so there we go. It is now happening.
We've got a tie and a suit for you.
As our producer is just telling us in our ears. So you'll have every reason to go. But it is an exciting time, and Villa have done the very positive thing by doing so well in the qualifying stage, league stage, by getting the home ties for second leg. That's a big positive.
Yeah, huge positive. Thomas, I just mentioned it about us. I think I'm right in saying that because we finished so high up in the league position, whoever we play, if we beat Lille and then we go on again, I think we get the home leg second again. Got you. So that's a huge advantage. Genuinely, it really is. We always talk about away legs being difficult and having the possession in terms of the home leg being second. So yeah, it's a good position. The other thing is, I'm just thinking in terms of the league position we have and the league games we've got coming up. that little distraction in Europe just might help the lads, you know. Just it's only a little, just a little sprinkle of dust that they don't need to be worried about things and concentrate specifically on something the manager's really good at, which is winning the Europa League. So let's just see where it takes us. It's such an exciting 3 months coming up. It really is, and let's hope we get what we exactly want.
And it'll be Emi Martinez winding up the French for a 3rd year running.
Oh, definitely. You'll be loving it.
We're disappointed if we're not in Europe just for that alone.
But you hope if that happened this time, we'll be at home. So
Yeah.
we'll be even more.
Wow. It would be incredible, wouldn't it? But like you say, that is the carrot being dangled there. Reminder, of course, of Europe again. But back to today's game, though, and exactly what we're seeing. Is this a chance for Ollie Watkins to silence the doubters?
This is also a chance. Yes, is the answer. But not only that, I think a good performance from Ollie, energy performance, and not giving the ball away, holding the ball up for us, keeping possession when he has to, because that's going to be important. Sometimes as a striker, you need to do the selfish run and hold the ball up, just buy somebody a bit of time, give them the ball and get in the box. But it's a reminder for England. You know, we're getting to a position where the World Cup's 3-4 months away now. And people, you know, I remember the 2 goals against Chelsea, and there was a goal I can't remember, it doesn't really matter now. There was someone else who scored against it. It was here, it was here. Right in the top corner, if you remember. And it was
I can't remember what happened this morning.
Was it Brighton? I can't remember. It doesn't really matter. But it was a reminder of what he can do, and a reminder for English fans in terms of, if you think what Ollie Watkins wants for himself and his family, etc., thinking about going ahead to a World Cup. So this is a reminder for everybody if he can get it right tonight as well. Just saying, don't forget about me. Just because I haven't scored in a couple of games doesn't mean to say I'm playing badly.
It would be interesting if Tammy Abraham came on, if Ross Barkley came on, Jadon Sancho came on, and Ian Maatsen is starting. What do those 4 have in common?
Oh.
There's your teaser for the day. Answer in the comment section.
What do they have in common?
Don't know.
What is this, the 1% club?
What is it? What is it they've got in common?
All played for Chelsea.
Okay.
Oh, Maatsen, so he did,
yeah, exactly. There you go. There's your trivia for the day.
They started off the bench.
Well, the only one. Well, the only one who's actually starting then.
This is a joke. I'm joking. But yeah.
But is that an extra incentive? In all seriousness, is that an extra incentive?
It is, of course. It's always good to face your former club. It's always good to show where you are in your career. I mean, Sancho and Tammy and Barkley. They would love to beat Chelsea tonight. They would love to put one in them and say, you know what, we play for the team that actually is better than you. It's always good that. So it'll be interesting to see when some of those players come in. You know what, they can perform well.
Reece James, is he going to be key with his corners? We saw how effective he was the other day at Arsenal, where it was just set piece FC, and his corners were so accurate every single time. As we're just seeing the goalkeepers, of course, practicing their corners there. Is that going to be a key element of today's set pieces?
100%. The boys.
You say the way that everyone's been talking about the Premier League for the last 2 weeks.
I think the boy's different class. I think he was such a miss when he was injured, such a miss, and it looks as though he's got back to full fitness now. And there's only one winner, and that's Chelsea Football Club. I think the boy's really good. I think he's an absolute certainty, and I'm talking about a particular person that's at Real Madrid right now. I think he plays on the right-hand side for England as well. I think he's that good. I think he brings that energy, and he's had a good season so far, and his delivery is first class, and that's something we're going to have to deal with tonight. He's a very good player, Kate.
And this is really important, the delivery.
Yeah.
Because, you can have the best headers in your team, you can have the best setup, but if you don't have somebody to put the right balls with the right speed in the right area, very difficult to score goals. And he's definitely delivered in the best possible way.
Liam Rosenior, what have you made of him so far? What is his philosophy, and how different do you think that's changed from the rest? Have you seen much change so far with Liam Rosenior?
Not really. I think he's just letting them do their thing at the moment. I mean, he's given them. He picks a formation, and I think, to be fair, over the last couple, probably the first 2 or 3 games, he let them just express themselves. But I think you'll gradually see Liam being a reflection. I always talk about a football team being a reflection of the manager. I like Liam. Liam's a lovely guy. I think he was a little bit hard done to when he was at Hull. Was in a job almost immediately. Goes to France. opportunistic with the things that's happening at Chelsea. Finds himself the manager of a very big football club, and I don't think it's one where he wants to really put his foot down too early. And there's a lot of big egos in the team that he'll need to be careful with. And I think he's just gradually putting himself in. And it's not just that. Remember, as a modern day manager, out with looking after millionaire football players, you need to deal with the press, and I think he's dealt with it quite well, because I still don't think he's taken seriously enough as the Chelsea manager, and that's something he's going to have to cope with, and it'll only be done with the way his reaction is with his players and how he gets results with Chelsea.
Do you think he perhaps hasn't got that respect yet because of the lack of experience and pedigree at this level, this being of course the biggest role he's had so far? Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah, a little bit, but then again, when do you give him the opportunity? Did he have to go somewhere else before they decided? And does he only get the job because Strasbourg were part of the team that is owned by the people that own Chelsea? So
I mean, it's a direct link, isn't it, to the making? With
so I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I don't think he's taken seriously enough.
Listen,
I really don't.
I've got a lot of time for young coaches. They should have their chance.
And by the way, we're screaming out for young coaches. I mean, he's right there.
It's too early. He'll be judged by, you know what, where he's in the league. If they get the Champions League, then you know you've got more chance and opportunity to put down his philosophy and work on his philosophy. At the moment, I think you've got such a good team. Sometimes you just have to let them perform. You don't overcoach them. Don't try to be too smart and say the right things. You don't have to be perfect. No, football is not perfect. Just let them enjoy, let them play. Make sure you achieve what you're there. And the achievement will be getting the Champions League. And if he manages to get that, then he'll have the chance to work on what he believes is his style and what he wants to put on.
I don't want to be too derogatory towards Liam to say I don't think he's taken seriously, but I don't think he's listening to someone upstairs that's telling him the football team to pick. I don't think it's anywhere near like that. I'm saying I'm playing somebody at left back, I'm playing somebody at right midfield. The changes, this is my changes, this is my team.
That's still happening, somebody from upstairs.
Well, you know, I'm just saying. By the way, at all the clubs, Chelsea, it just might have been. It just might have been at Chelsea, for sure, or somebody wasn't happy with something. So I think he's his own man in terms of that, but certainly I think Stan's right. I think it's like little steps, let the players play, pick a couple of things specifically that they don't do properly and get them to do it better. And let's hope they don't do it tonight.
Yeah, he is hoping. But you talk about that, I'm talking about Chelsea hierarchy. I mean, it wasn't enough for Maresca to win the Club World Cup, to win the Conference League. Where do Chelsea realistically see themselves? And given the amount of money they've spent in recent years, where do you think the hierarchy actually sees Chelsea where they should be?
Champions League. That's where they're pushing for.
One in the last four it would be, I believe, if they don't get it this year.
That's what they'll be looking for at the moment. It seems like at the moment that the transition, too many players in, players out, you know what, changing managers. This is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So getting in the Champions League will be an important start. And it's something that they'll be looking to build on. So I think Champions League that's where probably this Chelsea team should be. Can they achieve it? This is another thing.
A lot of the wider media have been saying this is the direct shootout between Chelsea and Aston Villa for fifth. Of course, Villa currently sit in fourth. Liverpool messed up there against Wolves the other day, so perhaps it's not even just for fifth. But do you see Chelsea right now as the biggest danger to Villa?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I'm going to throw Liverpool in just because, and Man U are on a magnificent purple patch just now, that they've carried a little bit of lady luck, Manchester United as well. I mean, the other day against Palace, they're 1-0 down and all of a sudden they're playing against 10 men and take advantage of it. And you need to do that as a football club and as players and recognise your opportunity. There's a chance for the players right now to grab this opportunity that we have at this football club. And tonight is one of them. Don't wake up tomorrow morning and say, I could have done that. I could have done this. I could have given more. You know, when you go off the pitch tonight, you're sitting in there with 3 points, giving it, I'll enjoy myself tomorrow because I've given as much as, and we've done exactly what the manager wanted us to do. That's important. Games like this, and this is it, like, there's some games you're like, we probably win, we're not going through the motions, but we're too good for them. This is a game tonight, they have to remind everybody what a good football club we are. And there's players with opportunities. That's what I want to see from the team tonight.
Villa needs the performance tonight.
Yes, they do.
They need to be at their best. They need their best because this Chelsea team, they've got pretty much everything. They've got the speed, they've got the stamina.
Maybe not discipline, but
they've got the aggressiveness. They don't get the right result, but they do play well. They show that they can do it. And Aston Villa, even not playing that well in the last couple of weeks, they have to be at their best. The players have to step up tonight.
There's something we haven't spoken about, and we'll just speak about it briefly because I know we're probably nearly done. Defensively, they have been very, very problematic. Very problematic. And that's something the manager, I am absolutely positive, has been reminding the players that they have leaked goals in areas where even Liam Rosenior's like, seriously, I'm not talking about the goalkeeper, I'm talking about them defensively as a unit. And that's where we have to think about taking advantage. If somebody takes too many touches, then we make sure we're on them. We need to make sure we put pressure on them to remind them about the goals they've conceded. And with a bit like that means we'll win the game.
And them not seeing out games all that well of late, either, not being able to hold on to that lead. Right, lads, we've got less than a minute left, so predictions time. Stan, you're up.
I will go 2-1 Villa.
Goal scorers?
Oli and Morgan Rogers.
Nice, perfect. So very similar to Stamford Bridge, but with Morgan getting the other goal there for Villa. Predictions, sir?
I'm going to go 1-0. I think the game will be really close, it'll be tight, it'll be exciting, there'll be chances, but I'm going to go 1-0 Aston Villa with a good performance. Morgan gets the goal just because this is a game for him tonight. It might not be the game for Ollie Watkins and Buendia or Onana, but I think for Morgan, I think he knows how important this game is tonight, and for him to turn up for Aston Villa and score our winning goal tonight.
Must win. There you go. We'll take that all day long. We've got loads coming your way, though, on Villa TV in the next few days. So this is what we've got to look forward to. Friday night, Jimmy Shan's under-21s host Man City in Premier League 2. You can watch that live on Villa TV. The kickoff is at 7 p.m. Tuesday the 10th of March, FA Youth Cup action returns to Villa Park. Richard Beale's Young Villains will take on Crystal Palace in the quarter-finals as Villa look to retain their title. That match will be live on Villa TV for UK viewers, and of course you can head down to Villa Park to show your support for our under-18s. Kickoff with that match is at 6 p.m. Right, lads, thank you so much to a pair of you two for your time. Stan, you're on co-coms again. This is just the life you live right now.
It's freezing, by the way.
By the way, you should be a big block of ice by 10 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, you certainly will. So stay warm. Hopefully we'll see you after the game as well. Al, thank you so much. Mark Regan to commentate on today's game alongside this man, Cillian Petrov.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Villa TV. Welcome to Villa Park as well. Aston Villa against Chelsea. Full match commentary on the way on Villa TV. And one glance at the league table will tell you just how big tonight's game is. Aston Villa at the moment in 4th place on 51 points.